The 3-thread stitch is most commonly used as a seam finish to provide a fast alternative to traditional seam finish methods such as zigzag stitching on a conventional sewing machine or trimming with pinking shears. It can also be used to make seams in lightweight fabrics. This stitch uses 2 loopers and only 1 needle thread. It can be done with the left needle or the right needle, depending on the stitch width desired. Be sure to remove whichever needle is not being used. Don't just leave it in but unthreaded, or the stitch won't form properly. Raise the presser foot. To thread the loopers, turn the hand wheel so that the loopers are positioned like this. The upper looper should always be threaded first. Place the thread spool on the thread stand, then bring the thread up and through the guide on the thread mast. Place it into the guide on top of the machine. Hold the thread and then firmly place it into the tension disc. After placing the thread behind this guide, follow the thread path indicated by the red dotted markings. Then thread the eye of the upper looper. If it's easier, use the tweezers from your accessory kit to thread the looper's eye. Next, thread the lower looper. Place the thread spool on the thread stand, then bring the thread up and through the guide on the thread mast. Now place it into the guide on top of the machine. Pull the thread firmly into the tension disc. After placing the thread behind this guide, follow the thread path indicated by the gold dotted markings. The thread is guided next into a slot at the left side of the looper's arm. But to do this, you must first bring the thread around to the back side of the looper. Hold the thread firmly toward you and then slide it to the left until it drops into the slot on the looper arm. Now thread the eye of the lower looper, making sure that the thread tail lays over the upper looper. This is very important because if the lower looper thread is not placed over the upper looper, the threads will tangle and the machine will not stitch. For a wider 3-thread stitch, use the left needle and remove the right needle. For a narrower 3-thread stitch and for rolled hemming, use the right needle and remove the left needle. For this demonstration, let's thread the machine using the right needle. Place the spool in the thread guide on the thread mast. The right needle thread is threaded through the green tension disc, behind this guide below the disc, then over to the green dotted marking of the take-up lever area. Bring the thread down behind the guide above the needle and then thread the needle. Set the lower blade in regular sewing position and place all threads underneath the presser foot. Lower the presser foot then sew.